Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Resounding Glory. Oh, I'm really excited to talk about this topic. If you're new to my channel, my name is Miranda. Welcome in. If you have not subscribed to my channel and you feel led, hit the subscribe button, put your notifications on so you don't miss a video. So I know y'all saw the title, May the Faith Be With You. He actually gave me this word on May 4th in 2022, depending on when you're watching this. That's why I like to put the year. So May 4th, 2022. And it was kind of funny how it came about because I kept feeling like that day was very special and I didn't know what exactly he was trying to tell me at first. And I remember just looking up and I saw, like, Googling things, and I ended up seeing May the Force be with you. Like the Star Wars. And I just thought it was so funny, and then all of a sudden it was just May the Faith be with you. And it was just beautiful. We'll get into it right now. So I wanted to read in the book of Hebrews chapter 11 verse 6. It is impossible to please God without faith. I just want to say it again. It is impossible to please God without faith. And then there's another popular scripture that I think a lot of people know, and if you don't, it's okay, I'm going to read it. It's in the book of Matthew chapter 17 verse 20. And it's about pretty much having, well, I won't read the whole thing, but just pretty much having faith of a mustard seed. Having faith of a mustard seed. A mustard seed is very, very tiny seed, but it grows into a huge tree. From this little thing, I wish I had like one with me, but it's like this, the smallest little seed to, woof, it grows so big. And I've seen many depictions of what this means. Like, you know, pastors preaching on the subject of having faith of a mustard seed. And for years, even before May the Faith Be With You came about, I just remember asking God, like, is that it? Just if we just had this, you know, amount of faith so small that we only need to give that much, you know, like I would pray that, like, not pray, but just speak to the Lord about it. Like, that's it, just to give you that much, and that's it, you know? It would just kind of like blow my mind, like, that's it? That's all to offer you, you know? And I would ask him, is that really what that scripture means? And what I feel like it means is that if we would just believe for grander, even without seeing it by our sight, for we don't walk by sight. That's what scripture says, we don't walk by sight. We would find that the grander that we held on to with the very little we saw would grow exponentially farther than we can imagine. You know those amazing stories where people don't give up? They just don't give up. Like those beautiful stories where it's like they went through this and they went through that, and then for 5 years, and then this and that and that, and then something beautiful happens, something beautiful occurs in their life or for others. It was because they had great faith. Not a little bit of faith, great faith, grand faith. Faith that surpasses probably all understanding. They didn't waver. They didn't waver, and they took action. They took action with grand faith, you know, and just like how I just said, in scripture it says, faith without works is dead. Taking action on what it is that you are believing for, having faith in, that's very important. And so, I don't know, with that scripture, I always felt like people took it and gave themselves permission to be lazy or offer just a little bit to God, because it's like, well, I only need to give this little bit of faith and all of this will happen for me. To justify, and they're speaking out of their flesh. They're speaking and thinking that just this little bit and that's it. And so it depends how you look at it, but I'm just coming towards that perspective of to not be lazy, to not just think I can give this little bit to God. We want to give all to God. We want to do just more. Just more. Even in scripture it says we will do even greater things than Jesus. We will do greater things. To me that's grand. To me that's huge. That's larger than life. And so I would look at this scripture a lot, and even now, and I would say, well, if we would look at the scripture like the mustard seed, and I'm saying like it's little old me. That little mustard seed is little old me. That mustard seed is little old you. You know what I mean? And that I'm being watered and I'm receiving nutrients from the Son, who is Jesus. And I don't see the roots growing. I don't really see the full picture. I don't see the full plan, but my faith is still there. My faith is so grand. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than me. Not a little bit, but much times like 100. Grand faith. But like I said, I don't see the roots growing. I don't really see all what's really happening. But what I know is the purpose he has for me is grand, and it will happen. In the prayers that I pray shift things. I believe that. I have faith, great faith, grand faith, that the prayers that I pray and what I believe the Lord to do for me, it's great faith that I have with it. And that with that it can shift atmospheres. And I don't see it all, but something beautiful is blooming. Something beautiful is blooming. Even when you don't see it yet by your sight, something beautiful is blooming. So I just like to see it that way, that it's little old me or it's little old you, that little mustard seed. But with that grand faith, things will shift. Things will change, mountains will move. And what I really want to say is to everyone watching, listening, to have grand faith, to not skimp God and think that if you just gave a little bit, if you just did this, and there was no effort. Because a lot of times we can twist scriptures and we can have it be saying something that it's really not saying. I believe the Lord wants us to have grand faith. I believe the Lord wants us to walk in it and believe Him for the things to occur in our families, for the things to occur just with us individually, in our zip codes, where we travel to nations that we want to go and maybe be missionaries in. Let's have grand faith. Let's have great faith. Let's have radical faith that makes people be like, wow, now that's believing. So just dare to dream again. I remember, I won't go all into it because it's not really for this video, but I remember there was a time when the Lord, there were some visions I had and He was just telling me to dream. Dream again. So I'm saying this to you all. Dare to dream again. Put faith back in the things that need faith. I dare you to have far greater faith than your peers. Great faith for great reward, for it is pleasing to God. And I do have 2 songs for this video that y'all can check out. It was really in my spirit as I was getting this word together. The first one is Let Praises Rise by ORU Worship. And the other one is To Worship You I Live by Israel and New Breed. And as always, I'll have them linked below. And really, that's all for now. Until next time, may you soar prophetically, creatively, and spiritually. God bless.